Joining me now is Barlow Girl. We're here on the street, really. A lot of times when you're at GMA, you're going between this building here, the convention center, and a bunch of buildings down the street. Let me ask you this. How has GMA been for you?
It's been wonderful. We've met a lot of cool new people. We've
Yeah,
met a lot of good friends that we haven't seen in like a year. So it's been absolutely wonderful.
And very busy at the same time.
Super busy. Super, but it's GMA week. What do you expect?
Exactly. And you guys probably don't realize that, but this is the week where the media gets together and you're going from interview. Tell me about that. Going from interview to interview. Do you get tired?
Well, yeah, it depends on the shoes.
Yeah.
Like the shoes you're wearing.
I agree. Even I agree. Yeah.
No, so the shoes you're wearing definitely plays a big role in it. But it's like the waking up at 5 and then not going to bed till 1 really makes you tired. Yeah.
And that's because you're doing radio interviews in the morning, the morning drive.
And all that stuff.
Performing during the day and doing, sound checks and
everything.
Just a lot of stuff.
And stick around, we'll have more in 30 seconds.
So you got the hottest cell phone, now you need the hottest ringtone. Get the latest ringtones to use on your personal cell phone right now. Text MV43 for Super Mario Brothers. Text BA43 for Sweet Home Alabama. Text WH43 for This Is Why I'm Hot. Or text YK43 for What You Know About That. And send your choice to 77888. Choose from any of these great ringtones to use as your very own. And don't forget to text your choice to 77888.
You are just finishing up this album. Tell me about it.
It's actually called How Can We Be Silent?
And that name even just got determined recently.
Yeah.
Okay,
it
tell me
actually
about that.
came from the lyrics of one of our songs called Million Voices. And it's just kind of an anthem song in this album of just kind of, I guess, rallying our generation to say, it's not just about us. It's not just about Barlow Girl raising a band or South Nation. It really is about us as a generation going forth, marching across the land and saying, we will no longer be silent in this generation. We will no longer be silent in a dark world. We will have a voice. We will say what God's put on our hearts. So that's kind of why.
It's a powerful message, but why make your album about that entirely?
I think we feel like we have talked a lot in our different albums about the way that we have taken stands in our life, the way that we have felt like what God has called us to do in our life. And I think now we're saying, okay, now it's your turn. What is God calling you to do? What is God calling you to speak about in your life? Stand up for that and let's not be ashamed. So I think it's not just us speaking, it's what's your story. What does God have for you in your life? And do that, unashamedly.
That makes me think about, do you think that as Christians, as people that we know who God is, and some people out here may understand that, and people might want to know about that, but either way, do you think that we immediately become, as we become a Christian, we become caused people?
Yeah, I definitely think that as we become Christians, I believe that as God begins to transform us more into His likeness, I think that how is there not a fire burning inside us? How is there not a passion beginning to boil up inside us when the Spirit of God begins to live inside you? There's no way that you can't begin to feel things changing and to feel you going, I've got to live for something more. I've got to live for something bigger than just myself. That you do actually begin to feel you've been placed inside of a greater cause. When you become a believer.
What stood out to you about this album? I want to go back to that. What song, what maybe just set of lyrics, or maybe even experience, what really stood out to you in the making of this? Maybe a place you saw God's hand in your life.
Yeah, I think during the writing process, what we saw was so different just because God had us really take time to fast our writing time and really dig into the Word and really dig into our lives and what God has taught us. And through that time, we would just take prayer time as the three of us and pray for, more than half of our writing time.
Yeah.
Through that, God just opened the doors of heaven, and then after we just stay in His presence, God would just impart things to us, and show us, things in our lives that we needed, that we needed to share with the rest of the world. And it was the most different writing experience we've come across, and it was an amazing experience.
So you would say that this writing truly is inspired?
Yeah, we work for an amazing God, and He is truly inspiring.
Yeah, I agree with you. I definitely do. Well, hey, I'll tell you, this week has been hard for pretty much all of us. Like I said, you don't know the amount of walking that's involved. The soles of my shoes literally feel like they're about to fall off. But certainly a good thing because you get these moments and you get to talk about what your heart's passion is. So, All right, very good. Well, we will be right back. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you, Barlow Girl, for joining us.
Thanks for having us.